All right, let's dive in. Today, we are going to crack the code on one of the wine world's most fascinating and, often misunderstood topics, German wine. We're going to break down everything you need to know, especially if you're hitting the books for your WSET exams.
So, to get us started, let's focus on the big question, the one that really frames our whole journey today. Why is this grape, Riesling from this specific place, Germany, so incredibly special? Why is it so revered all around the globe?
To figure that out, we're going to tackle this in 4 parts. First, we'll look at the climate and the grapes themselves. Then, we'll decode that famous quality pyramid. After that, we'll take a quick tour of the key regions. And finally, we'll tie it all together with why this stuff really matters. Okay, let's jump in.
First things first, we have got to understand the fundamental building blocks of German wine. And believe me, it all starts with its unique and, let's be honest, pretty challenging environment.
Here's the most important thing to get your head around. Germany's vineyards are literally pushed to the absolute northern edge of where you can even grow grapes. This cool climate isn't just some minor detail. It is the single most powerful influence on the style and the entire character of these wines.
But here's the magic trick. This challenging climate actually has some incredible benefits. It means the grapes get a super long, slow ripening season. They hang on the vine forever, developing these wonderfully intense, aromatic flavors. And, at the same time, they hold on to that zesty, high acidity that is the absolute signature of German wine.
Okay, so now that we get the climate, let's meet the stars of the show, the grapes that actually manage to thrive there. These are the varieties you absolutely have to know to really get a handle on the German wine scene. You know, they grow a lot of different grapes across the country, but for your studies, these 3 are essential. And, as you can probably guess, one of them really stands head and shoulders above the rest. And here it is, Riesling. It's basically the soul of German wine. We call it a transparent grape, which is a cool way of saying it has this incredible ability to perfectly reflect the soil and the climate where it's grown. It is a direct line from the vineyard right into your glass. All right, let's move on to the part that sometimes trips people up, but I promise we're going to make it super simple. We're talking about the German wine laws and that famous quality pyramid. First, you just have to understand these 2 main tiers, Qualitätswein and Prädikatswein. Now, here's the most important difference, the one you'll want to remember for any exam. For that top tier, Prädikatswein, adding sugar to boost the alcohol is a big no-no. It's strictly forbidden. The quality comes from one thing and one thing only, the natural ripeness of the grapes.
And this is the heart of the whole system, the Prädikat ladder. Now, I want you to burn this into your brain. This is not a sweetness scale. It is a ripeness scale. It's all about how ripe the grapes were when they were picked. We start with a light, delicate Kabinett and climb all the way up to the ridiculously concentrated and rare Trockenbeerenauslese, or TBA. Just think about the risk a winemaker takes. They leave these grapes on the vine for months, risking rain, rot, birds, all for just a tiny bit of that precious, sugary juice.
Look, I get it. That was a lot of German words. For your studies, just zero in on these first 3 levels. They are, by far, the most common ones you're going to find out in the wild. This table is basically your perfect cheat sheet. It shows you how the body and concentration build as you move up that ripeness ladder. Okay, so we've got the theory down. We know the climate, the grape, the laws. Now let's see how it all comes together. Let's go on a quick tour of Germany's most famous and important wine regions. Our first stop is the Mosel Valley. And let me tell you, this place is home to some of the world's most iconic, most beautiful, and just downright dramatic vineyards you will ever see in your life.
So what makes the most of the Mosel? It's all about these incredibly steep, south-facing slopes that basically just plunge down into the river. The dark slate soil soaks up the sun's warmth all day and then radiates it back onto the vines at night, which is absolutely crucial in a cool climate like this. And all of that unique terroir, is what gives us those delicate, lower alcohol, high-acid Rieslings with those classic floral and green apple notes.
All right, next, we're going to travel just a short little distance away to the Rheingau, which has a completely different feel and, as you'd expect, makes a very different style of wine.
So if the Mosel is all about delicacy and lightness, the Rheingau is all about power and structure. The slopes here are a bit gentler, the climate is a touch warmer, and the result is a richer, often drier style of Riesling. And it's also a fantastic region for Spätburgunder, which you probably know better as Pinot Noir.
So after our little journey through the climate, the laws, and the land, let's pull it all together. What are the key takeaways you absolutely need to remember from all this?
Okay, here are the 4 things to lock in. Number 1, acidity is king. It's the backbone of these wines and makes them amazing with food. 2, remember, the Prädikat system is all about ripeness, not sweetness. 3, Riesling has an incredible range of styles. And finally, that cool climate means the terroir, that unique sense of place, really gets to shine through in the glass.
You know, to really sum it all up, I love this quote from the legendary German wine importer Terry Thies. It just captures the magic perfectly. It speaks to this unbelievable complexity that can come from such a pure and focused source. Just Riesling and slate. It's brilliant.
So there you have it. We've given you the framework, the key to unlock any German wine label you come across. Now the really fun part begins, putting that knowledge to the test. So go find a bottle and see what you discover. Thanks for joining me on this one.